I see there's something here just.
Okay.
Oh, just the event. Yeah, there's. Trucks.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 7 p.m. Council chambers. Just official city council agenda. I ask the clerk to call the roll at this time.
Councilman Haycraft.
Here.
Councilwoman Azatea.
Here.
Councilman Cohen.
Here.
Councilman Leaders.
Here.
Councilman Fleetwood.
Here.
Councilman Munger.
Here.
And Mayor McCoy.
Here. There being a quorum, I call the meeting to order. Mayor Pro Temp, give us the invocation, please.
Father God, we just come before you and we ask your blessing on this time. Lord, grant us the wisdom to handle the business at hand, what is best for this community. Lord, we ask these things in Jesus' name.
Sarah North, will you listen to the pledge of
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all.
Thank you all. First item up is the approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of minutes from the regularly scheduled council meeting, July 15th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is approval of payroll and claims, second half, July 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. The only one that I have is Councilwoman Azatea.
I would have gotten on Thursday. Actually, pass it down, and then I did make tonight. James will be able to confirm whether or not this is right as far as the proper chain of city. Just a refresher for council here as well as citizens. I think there's been a lot of confusion, and I know I've met with city manager and mayor a couple times in regards to several things, specifically chain of command and outdated regulations and guidelines. I just wanted to thoroughly verify that this is in fact the correct proper chain.
Well, and of course, I'm just seeing it. I think you're correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, and like I said, I did make extra copies for anybody present tonight so that there's no confusion as to the chain of command. So, I mean, no questions, obviously. Anyway, but just a refresher for everybody up there.
Right. Next up on the agenda is under my name. We have a few reappointments here. This will be a first reading for the Hannibal Commission and Visitors Bureau for Scott Earhart. Appointment for a term to expire September of 2030. That is a first reading, so I do not need a vote on that. Next up will be a second reading. These next couple, so we will need a vote on these. First one is Employee Benefit Trust Board. I have two, Ben Devlin for an appointment for a term to expire in May of 2028, and Jamie Thompson for an appointment for a term to expire in May of 2028.
Mayor, this is two brand new appointments, not a reappointment.
Correct.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. Yep.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, also second reading for the Building Commission, David Todd from the Department of Public Works.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. James Lemon, City Attorney, you're up next.
Yes, Mayor. As the council knows, we have a couple of times, a second time we were successful, got the legislature to give us the ability to pass the public safety tax. What I provided for you tonight is an ordinance which would allow you to put it on the ballot for the November ballot to let the voters decide whether they want to do that or not. Great. Ordinance to follow.
Yep. Bill number 25-063 to follow for a first reading. Council, do you have any questions for the attorney? All right, thanks, James.
Well, not for James, but if I remember correctly, we did, with the last approval of the pay raise for the fire department, they did commit to supporting this when we gave them their latest pay raise.
Yeah, and I can address that. We sent an email out this week to the mayor and to the chiefs and to the union reps, and we're going to be having meetings scheduled here soon to kind of discuss the next steps going forward, and the things we can and can't do, and kind of put a plan together. So
good. Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions, we'll move on. Next up is City Clerk Melissa Cogdill.
Mayor, Council, I got two things for you this evening. Both are strictly housekeeping, things that we do routine every year. To comply with statutory requirements for RSMO 105-483, 105-485-4, the city is required to biannually adopt an ordinance ratifying and reaffirming our procedures to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials and employees. All candidates must file a financial interest statement for political subdivisions if they have any transaction over $500 with the city of Hannibal, even if the candidate is not listed specifically in the ordinance. Otherwise, filing of the statements only applies to the city manager and the city clerk. For your consideration, I have a first reading that will meet the requirements set forth by the Missouri Ethics Commission, adhering to the policy and adopting originally by the City Council August 20th, 1991, by ordinance number 3760. Slight modifications to the original ordinance have been made to incorporate the city manager form of government versus the original mayor form of government, which I did attach to your packets. Furthermore, the Missouri Ethics Commission requires this process to be completed no later than September 15th, 2025. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
No, I thought it'd be bill number 25-060 to follow for a first reading.
My final is an amendment to the police and fire retirement pension fund. Pursuant to Section 902 of the Police and Fire Retirement Fund plan documents, the city reserves the right to amend the plan documents from time to time. These amendments are done by the Police and Fire Board, Pension Board. They vote on them. However, they brought to the council for approval in order to update the entire plan document, which I'm ready to do. The Fire Pension Board took a vote to amend Section 1.23 of the plan regarding break-in service. This plan amendment was reviewed by the Police and Fire Pension Attorney, Plan Administrators, and JCPER, which is the Joint Committee of Public Employee Retirement, which bosses us and tells us what to do time. In addition, on April 23rd, 2025, the Police and Fire Pension Board members voted to amend Section 4.05 of the plan document regarding Chief of the Department retirement provisions, amending the years of service. This plan amendment was also reviewed by the Police and Fire Pension Attorney, Plan Administrators, and JCPER. I'm requesting the support of the council for the Police and Fire Pension Board's decision on the plan amendment and approval to update the full plan document.
Questions from the council? Not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, interim city manager, Mr. Andy Dorian.
Mayor, James and I have been super busy on a bunch of ordinances. We've been writing and changing a lot of different things. First up, would be a revision to Chapter 9, or Chapter 19 ordinance in regards to abatements. James and I reviewed our current ordinance and the state law, and James kind of mirrored it more towards the state law so that we're following everything a little bit more closely. And as part of that ordinance, it will add, in addition to a 10-day letter, it'll add a hearing, which will be held here in the council chambers by designated staff as part of that abatement process, and that'll include both weeds and trash. So this would be an ordinance for a first reading. I can answer any questions.
Does council have any questions over that item?
How is that different?
Yeah, so currently the way it's written right now is we do a 10-day letter, and there is no hearing. This will add a hearing after that 10-day notice.
And the hearing, then I did.
So the hearing can be myself, the police chief, or any of our designees. So it'll probably be the person who's in charge of the CSOs at that point in time. They'll have a hearing allowing person to come and talk about whatever the issue might be. And then at that point in time, depending on what happens at a hearing, we'll issue a 5-day notice that they need to abate either the weeds or the trash. And if not, after that, then we can designate staff or contractor to that abatement and then place a lien. Make sure that we're on the up and up. We are on the trash side. We've been doing this on the weed side for a while. On the trash side, it's been kind of a few years since we've done this, so we've identified some properties that we are going to restart this process. The chief and I have been talking, and that process should start soon.
I just want to commend Andy and the chief on their efforts on this, because this is really the first step in a long road to work on getting the town cleaned up. So, good thing.
Yeah.
Very good. If nobody has any questions on that item, it'll be bill number 25-062 to follow for first reading.
Next up, we have the street dedication of Timberview Terrace. They have completed that project. I think there's still some lots available for development, but the road portion of the project is done. The city engineer, Mark Bross with Clingers, has signed off on that, and we're ready to go ahead and dedicate that street to public use.
Council, you have any questions over that item? If not, that'll be bill number 25-065 to follow for first reading.
Okay, next up we have Prop M, another one that James and I and the mayor have been working on. When the mayor got elected, him and I met very early on, in that we feel that all the appointments that the city manager currently has, including Board of Public Works, Parks Board, some others, probably should be, that appointment should be left with the elected body and the elected mayor. And so we have a Prop M ballot initiative that would change that back over from the city manager over to the mayor. And I think we've all met, discussed that. We're all in agreement that that's probably the best idea. So,
Council have any questions over that item? That'll be bill number 25-064 to follow for first reading.
okay. Next up, we have our annual bid approval for our 1-ton trucks, one for parks, one for streets. These are our dump bed trucks and our snowplow trucks. The low bid was from Tumble and Ford for $52,219, and that's per truck. So that one will come out of the park fund, one will come out of sales tax cap. Do the next one.
Okay.
After we approve that one.
Oh, okay. It's just backwards on my paper.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Andy on that? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Well, before we do, Andy, I did it privately, but I want it publicly too. These funds are covered in the current budget.
Yep. We try to do this every single year on the street side. That kind of rotates every 10 to 12 years, a new truck. On the park side, we usually do every other year. So these are budgeted, yes. Okay. And it usually takes, as you can see, for the next thing we have is the snowplow accessories. Usually takes about a year to get a truck. So this will be sometime next year when we get this and we're ready to use. So we got to be ahead of the game on this.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to second to approve the purchase from Tumble and Ford. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. last item.
Yes, and so as part of that, these trucks have to be outfitted with hydraulic beds and snowplow attachments and accessories, spreader bodies. And so we utilized the Sourcewell bid process, and Viking Sives was the low bid. On the street side, it was 59,535. On the park side, it was 62,823. The difference on that is the parks have a little bit different dump bed for their operations, so it had a little bit of money. Viking Sives is someone we've used in the past. So, like I said, by the time that truck is fully ready to go, we get the truck, it goes to Viking, it's all outfitted, it'll be about a year from
Question again.
now. Yep, they are both budgeted for, yep.
Thank you.
Council, does anyone have any questions regarding that item? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Mayor.
Next up, we have City Collector, Ms. Janice Magruder. Not. Discuss. It was a very short discussion.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm here for the property tax levy for taxes. State sets us levy this year by about 5 cents. Has approximately 72 cents per $100 value. Library. You guys understand how that's assessed. County gives assessment to us. State recommends. So that's so public. Residential, 9% that. So the of the valuation, increase is actually valuation 5,000. Of that, levy is down. Revenue. Marion County had a cost of living and personal property. Marshall was 5%. Marion County also around town evaluated as they were looking that had more than Charles County had a 14.5%. And based on all of this, if you get 100% elected, you see down to 96%. Example of from 2025, what the random person, their increase just for
Else? Council, questions? Not, that'll be bill number 5-061 to follow for first reading. Thank you. Next up, we have Building Inspector, Mr. Mike McCard. Council, have any questions regarding this issue? Not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing will be Tuesday, August 19th at 6:45 here in council chambers. Next on the agenda is Chief Jacob Naki.
First is actually their KPI aggressive. Well, makes creates useful schedule.
Very good. Thanks, Chief. Next item.
So moved.
Motion and second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Chief.
Mayor, I just want to thank the chief and all staff for the continued effort to apply for these grants. Every dollar we
Yes.
get is really good. I know staff is kind of looking for all the money we can get, and so I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Super.
Very good.
Much
Great
appreciated.
job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, next item up on the agenda is Ms. Tricia Sheltry, Director of Tourism.
Mayor and Council, tonight in front of you, I have a resolution giving, requesting permission for the mayor to sign the contract with the drone show, Firefly, for the June 6th drone show that you guys approved at the last council. I forwarded it to James, and I believe looked over it, and has any issues, he'll tell me now.
If I had issues, I would have told you before now.
So we're in the clear.
Also, you got part of this donated as well, right?
Yes. First of all, the Firefly company worked with me to give me a 25% discount. And then I spoke with the director for the state tourism office, and he's giving us sponsorship money for this event and another event about celebrating next year. So
Great.
I Googled them after reading this, the company.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
yeah, it's
Really
awesome what
neat,
they can
yeah.
do with all this.
And didn't we have a discussion about demo?
Yeah, that's what we wanted to negotiate the free
I'll
demo.
see if they can sneak one in.
Yeah.
No, you guys don't want to wait. Neither do I.
Council, if no one has any other questions for Tricia, it'll be Resolution 2561-25 to follow for approval. Thank you. Next up on the agenda is Mr. Eric Graham, Director of IT.
Hopefully this will be very exciting. Put up some bids by we had 7 bids. John and I feel like we basically they were the second cheapest. The reason we cheapest, they have a 72 assistance product on site that they would take a long time to get here.
Is this replacement of all projectors?
It's going to replace projectors,
Screens.
all the microphones. Screens will stay.
Camera?
The live feed would be much better for viewers
This
at
will
home.
help out with the live feed.
Wonderful.
It will be planned inside. This is in live feed.
I'm glad you didn't go with the cheapest option because cheapest isn't
Yes.
always the best.
No,
So
no,
thank you
hardly
for
ever
looking
is.
into that, especially with the response time. That I think that makes a huge difference.
Does that include a camera as well, did you say?
It will.
Just a single or multiple?
It'll just be a single. It'll just be one.
I was just wondering about when there's an AV presentation, whether it would be a means to.
So that will pop up on the viewer's screen at home. They'll be able to, oh, okay. Whatever presentation's being screened, okay. Would keeping the projectors make a difference? I mean, yeah, just curious.
These are.
Oh,
Do we even use them anymore?
we just, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was tagged in with this laptop.
These are projectors.
A lot brighter.
What's the time frame? Like when will be put in?
Their time about
Is that after the money gets paid or?
once it's
The question I always have, maybe not you answer it, but Andy maybe, have we got this in our budget right now?
We did, yes.
Okay.
Andy, what happens with the old equipment? Are we able to resell it to recoup some of that money?
Eric, would,
maybe here.
Could we maybe donate it to a school or something? Or somebody that could have used
what we
it?
do sometimes, depending on the equipment, is we utilize a organization called Purple Wave, and they come on and they take pictures and they put everything online, and it's an online auction.
Gotcha, okay.
And sometimes you might be surprised what you get. Sometimes you might get $5. But
I was
at
going to
least
say,
you
if we
get-
can't recoup it, even if we could
Yeah.
donate it. To
if there was
someone
somebody
who's-
that could utilize it, and they came before the council and the council approved, we've done that too.
Cool.
So,
They can have my mic stand.
Did you pick up any extra microphones since we do tear the?
They should be replacing.
Ever?
We're going to hold you to that.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Fair point.
I know this has been a long time coming. I know a lot of you guys have heard complaints about this
Yeah.
over the years, so this should be a very good upgrade. So.
Plain seen from life.
Yeah.
All right, council, if there's no other questions for Mr. Graham, that'd be resolution 2563-25 to follow for approval.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you, John.
Next item on the agenda is Mr. Darren Gordon, Director of Operations, Board of Public Works, and
He's the
he's,
general manager, by the way.
I'm just reading what you wrote down right here. So. John Ortworth, Board of Public Works President. Did I get that one right?
I got him,
Okay.
not you.
Mayor, members of council, in the charter, section 11, it says that the mayor and council time to time. So, time, all right? I have about 8 items that I would like to refresh you on. I can do it very high level. The very first one, if we want to go into detail, here to do that, I've got a PowerPoint presentation, great to share with you, is about the North Power Generation Project. Just kind of warm you up a little bit.
Is it the same one we saw before?
Yes,
Okay, I don't
but
think
it's
you're.
also for public, so I want
Yes.
Gotcha.
definitely something. You've already given the first reading, us to sign it. Northeast Power Project is really 2 separate items. Okay? So in my mind, I'd ask you to separate. The project itself is done and paid for by the MP Public Utilities. We are a member of that. Out of 10, 3. MPUA is proposing to come to our industrial park. They want to buy a portion of that park and build a generator. The generator that they are going to build is a peaking unit, which means it provides 2 things. It provides capacity. 2, it provides electricity when the grid is low. We want to be a part of that. So, first of all, MPUA is working with the city to purchase that land. They're not going to really move that forward unless they have subscribed the generators they're going to build. There's 2 phases to this project. The first phase of this project is approximately 70 megawatts an hour. We need and are wanting to subscribe 30 megawatts. What you have given that first reading to is the fact that we purchase power agreement. So the first contract we're talking about, the first action item, is the construction of this generation plant. The second part is that we want to partner. That is the purchase power agreement. There is no money that we're going to be into this until that generation site can generate power.
At that point, how much would it cost the ratepayers then?
Okay, we look at capacity. Again, we've got to look at what we're buying. We're buying capacity. 2020, our cost of capacity, 6. When we buy it from them, it's 4.3. Okay, it's going to be less than it was last year. There's also a benefit. Benefit is this: whenever there is a constraint on the grid, meaning you don't have enough generation being put into the system to meet everybody's need, we're going to turn on that generator. It generates power and it sells that power into the grid. As a part owner of that generation, get money back from it. This year to date, we went back 4 years and we looked at the numbers of what generated in revenue had we had this place. 4 years ago, it would have been $2.9 million. Next year, it would have been $400,000. Next year, only $600,000. We looked at what it would have been this year, this last 2 months, 2 weeks ago, looking at about 8.8. We still have 5 more this year. And that would be reduced from that 4.3. So not only are we not at 4.6, we're doing everything that's going to happen, driving that down. Cannot guarantee, it's absolutely weather. What's happening with seeing
In regards to the generators, how have we ever had to do that before? Have we ever been able to not fulfill the capacity needs of all of the ratepayers to where we've had to do that before? Because it's my understanding from our first closed session meeting that we've never operated. So why the need now?
So what's happening is that capacity is a measure of the amount of electricity that can be generated, not just in zone. Louisiana. Those pushing electrons. There has been about 2 months ago. Around it. They actually call you. They have enough power. You don't go offline. This entire grid will collapse.
And this is based upon from the capacity that's,
Yes.
so if we're purchasing capacity, wouldn't there be some type of coverage as far as where we're purchasing that from?
Yes, there's a couple of rules. Here in zone 5, find that they take and draw lines in states, and that's the zone that in ISO. That when there comes constraint, only have capacity from. We buy power from every state. It's in southern. Only because one people had it long enough, have a historic alliance. Every bit of capacity is in that capacity.
So again, in zone 5, we'll just say, not specifically Hannibal, how many outages have there been to where they've needed to pull where it's affecting us? Because it's my understanding that we've never needed them
We have
before.
not had brownouts, that's right. But what we're talking about is the actual. What's
But if there's not a need for it, why are we going to?
Capacity.
I realize there's a need for capacity, but if we've not had a brownout or whatever before, why all of a sudden now? Because this is ultimately going to affect the citizens and the ratepayers. Why are we going to have them pay for something that isn't necessarily needed? Capacity is needed, yes, but why are we paying for something we've never needed in the past?
To stabilize that rate that they
We've
pay for
always
the
had to
capacity.
buy it.
Say that again.
We've always had to buy it. Always had capacity. We had to purchase it.
Correct.
We purchased it in the past.
I'm talking about the generators specifically.
But it's the capacity. That's what we're short.
So let me jump in for just a second. Prairie State's contract is up in 38. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that the right year?
Actually, our contract is not very state.
We'll be offline in 38. Is that 2038? So eventually we'll lose the 20 megawatts that we are getting. So this, in my opinion, from what I've gathered, is a long-term plan to help subsidize that loss, because you're going to build the generators here on site to generate that capacity here in Zone 5. And the second question I have for you while I got you, where you talked about the difference, the 2 million, the 400,000, that when that comes to fruition, that money go back in to help pay this off early. You'd mentioned that a lot of these things can be paid off early. And the last thing is, to her question in very simple layman's terms, how much is this going to cost? And I understand that you mentioned nothing until the plant is built and is turned on. But at that point, it's going to be somewhere around $50 million cost to the city. Is that correct?
The
It's not a cost to
ratepayers.
the city. That's the cost that we were paying.
So it's the cost, the city is obligated to pay that $50 million back over 30
Recoup that
years.
$50 million.
That's our cost.
Right.
Megawatts of capacity.
Right. And then the difference that you make will go to pay that off early.
And I got a question on that. So, we'll be in Zone 5, so we'll improve the capacity for all of Zone 5. And when there is a push on, we're able to sell that power and recoup some of that cost. And does that money that we make off go directly back into our portion of what we're paying? How's that?
What I anticipate is that our bill, we'll pick that up, bill every single time. And we're gonna say, all right, here, instead of dollars, that next year, budget, pay for that rate. And that's the rates. That's how we're gonna pay for this. So one of the questions I've heard is, you have to have a bond. You as the city are not in any way ventured in this. This power agreement. Every time we buy power to the customer, paying for in that kilowatt charge is for the electrons. Part of that is for the transmission. Part of that is that capacity. So we're paying in that kilowatt charge. We're talking about that.
Darren, in our first closed session meeting, I had asked, again, what it's going to cost the ratepayers, but you said this was over 30 years, and I said, so in 30 years, actually, in 30 years, you said that the increases to the Board of Public Works bills for the citizens would not go up, and then you kind of backtracked and said, no, not necessarily. So how much is this going to specifically cost the ratepayers annually or percentage-wise monthly? And again, want to confirm, even on top of that, a couple years down the road, you could additionally increase their utility bill again whenever the board saw fit.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not fit. Financial. They are electric. There's 3 items. The electrons, actual burn, lights, not controlling. Okay, that cost is still fluctuating. In fact, massive. This is not going. Second part, in our bill, transmission. That transmission cost of getting generation to here is getting more expensive. Why? Because we're putting more and more renewables out there. We used to have 20 generators that we could pull from. So you had 20 electric lines that would bring the power. You now have hundreds of solar farms. You're having to get a wire from that solar farm. So the number of transmission lines, the amount of problems with that, cost of that. So the second part of that kilowatt charge is transmission. We're not controlling. Right now, there is still upward pressure on those costs. The third part of that bill is capacity. What I'm saying is, we're going to control that capacity. The ceiling, while there's no longer that upward pressure, I'll tell you that 30 megawatts, it's going to cost us $4.39 million per year or less.
But didn't you say at the last meeting for capacity that was purchased that's not needed, we are able to recoup that? The last. So how does that fall back into either paying on the loan or reimbursing that to the ratepayers? How does that?
It will, again, to our purchase power budgeting, that cost us. That's customer saving.
What we've basically seen is a very large fluctuation in capacity cost. This is really just getting a hold of that, where it's going to be basically a fixed price for us on that. So instead of the going from $80,000 a year to $4 million a year, now we're getting a hold of that, and then sending that out. Other utilities, other people, they're able to purchase that capacity off of that as well. So
So are you looking at a flat rate for the ratepayers?
What's that?
Are you looking at a flat rate specifically for capacity at, I'm just trying to figure out, is it going to cost the ratepayers X amount of dollars additionally every month? Or how are you breaking that down?
It's broken down.
Okay, so in that,
You use more kilowatts, you're paying for it.
okay, but on average, you know approximately how much
Can't
it,
give that to you. Can't give that to you because you've got the other two.
okay, but as far as kilowatts, on average, if you had to take a guess, what is the average household use kilowatt-wise? And,
12.
okay, so what is that broke down cost-wise? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, based on like an average household, how much it's going to cost approximately monthly to the ratepayers. So if I'm paying $20 for specifically that, so based on that, is it going to go up an extra $20 just for that customer charge because of that? Or where would that be at with the ratepayers?
I think he can't really say that because you have two variables that are not controllable. The transmission.
So
and
then,
You don't know what they're going to be 3
Correct.
years from now.
we will have one of those variables, one of the three variables stabilized with this, but
I
we'll
do
still have two
think-
more variables. He can't go on record and say.
but it's not a flat
gonna
rate,
fly.
it's going to be a percentage based on kilowatts. And so what percentage are we at then? I'm either trying to find out a flat rate or a percentage, what it's based on. What percentage are we?
Flat rate possible.
When-
But that's what I'm saying. So if there's not a flat rate, what would the percentage be?
So let me try this. Our purchase power is right around $19 to $20. With capacity. So. 20 to
And I,
in
No, not really, because if it's not a flat rate, it has to be a 3% increase or whatever percent increase to the kilowatts of every ratepayer's bill.
but when we looked at that, we looked at the three different options, purchasing the power elsewhere or everything. It mitigated the risk with this program more than any of the others, because there was no guarantee that the others wouldn't raise as well. This program at least locked that part of it down.
I'm not
to where-
disputing that, Councilman Fleetwood. I'm just trying to figure out specifically what I'm able to tell the citizens how much it is going to affect their monthly bill. So if we move along with this, what percentage monthly is that going to affect their bill? If it's not a flat rate, it has to be a percentage based on the kilowatts they specifically use.
we're already paying for capacity. It's already in the bill through there. We're getting a hold of that so where there isn't as much of a fluctuation, so they can have more of a steady bill. So so that way we're not.
So it's not
seeing
going to dramatically affect their bill.
As long as the other two variables don't dramatically increase.
And have you guys looked into that to where the two other variables will dramatically increase?
hedging.
So once the project is done, will the city have to repay any portion of the construction cost? Not at all?
It's the power agreement.
Power agreement. We're asking you to sign off on that, but we pay that.
Just to play a bit of devil's advocate, just
Please.
curious. So what if everything's solidified and everything was very stable from here on out? What would be worst case scenario? Who would be footing the bill?
We would still be. Which
Okay.
we proposed 11% rating. Already had that discussion. With that. It's very, very close. If next 5 years, the cost of electrons and the cost of transmission stays the same, then we're very, very close right. That's close.
Too many variables
And
on a monthly basis to,
correct. There's still that upward pressure
Daily.
in transmission and because it is short. Part of the problem, that pressure, nation 7 o'clock. We're still running. Solar is shutting down. Shutting down. Fire up.
So will the decreased cost of the capacity cover the cost of the project? Do you want me to repeat it? Okay. Will the decreased cost of the capacity cover the cost of the project?
We're going just we are not the ourselves entire our subscription to that buying 30 megawatts. Other towns and their 5, 8, 7, whatever capacity they're going to have to be about.
So will the revenue earned from the generators cover the cost of the construction from the revenue earned?
From the budgeted $4.9 million they already have for the capacity charge.
You said for the next 30 years or until it's paid off. So as you see those.
So the
as
revenue
you see
earned,
those-
I'm saying, could
yes,
that go?
it should dramatically decrease the 30-year payment on this,
Yes.
correct? Like,
Yes.
what did you guys say? What did you tell me the other day? Like maybe 15, like,
There was another community that paid it off.
so there's like half of what the projected timeline was, wasn't it?
So this last had this we actually had a spike in power at 1,200 megawatts. Had we had that on, selling
And in all the other scenarios that we looked at, there was none of that that was going to be coming back to us. So we weren't going to profit from any of the other
I
scenarios.
thought we were with some of the other options that was presented to us.
We looked at a long-term contract with Ameren or what it would cost to go back to that. And we looked at
Diesel generators.
what's that?
The diesel generators
Yeah. Yeah, buying our own
Which
generators. Putting
was,
them in,
no.
right.
But in my mind, financially, it would make more sense for the city to buy their own generators. And I know this was discussed at the last meeting. My overall thing is the ratepayers, the taxpayers, the citizens, how it's going to affect them. So financially, long term, in my mind, it would make more sense for the city. Isn't that what we discussed at the last closed session?
so really neat. The turbine is a jet engine. It's connected to air. The fan and so one problem is sit start start out issues. Put in that turbine. Where this project cost turbines, the rest of the buildings, infrastructure support.
Roads, gas lines.
Yes. Standby oil. So the majority of that cost, I don't They're the ones such as Macon, those are the people that saves us money.
Who's paying their labor as far as maintenance and?
We're paying it through that pre-PA. That 4.39 million, we're going to pay a year for that. Part of that is paying their operations and maintenance. Part of that cost.
And
That's all in
that's a flat rate that they're paid hourly. There's no in 5 years, oh, we're going to give them a raise, and then that's
They're
going
going to get raises. They're going to, but that's figured into it. Our costs.
Or that we're purchasing all the maintenance that goes along with it in that cost, or the ones actually paying it is the MPUA. They're the ones that contract with the maintainer, with the people that run it, the maintenance of it, but we're paying it in that lease contract, whatever.
And the city's not liable for anything at all. If anything were to go wrong with any of their works, like at no point in time ever could this fall back onto the city where we're getting sued for one of their laborers getting injured or anything.
He's gonna tell you. He's gonna tell you anybody can sue anybody for anything.
It's like you went to the same law school as I did. Attorney can sue anybody for anything.
Anybody can sue you anytime for anything. However, the way this is structured, it's going to be their property. They're going to own it. It's going to be their employees. Can I promise you 100% there's absolutely no chance anyone would try to pierce that veil and sue the city of Hannibal? No, I can't. But it's more about the likelihood of them being successful. They did that. Likelihood of them being successful, very, very low. Can I say they wouldn't try? No, but the structure is such that there's quite a bit of insulation.
Wouldn't it be like a cell phone tower? That is essentially the cell phone providers that sits on that land.
Somewhat.
But it is maintained by them, and
the way this plant is going to be structured is there's going to be an entity that's going to purchase the ground from the city. It'd be, to give an analogy, and it's not directly on it, it'd be like if a corporation did something that harmed someone, did the stockholders bear the brunt of that? Maybe, but it's pretty unlikely that they're going to be able to pierce that type of a corporate veil. And because technically what's going on here is we would just be one of a group of members that has an interest in a completely separate entity. So that's why I say
makes sense.
It's very, very unlikely. And also then you start to get into the issue of sovereign immunity, the issue of protected by that.
That's my thing is I want to make sure that we are protected. I would want to make sure that the verbiage in any agreement or contract is airtight to where it's not coming back on us. And I mean, we're putting faith in trust. There's pros and cons to this project as we discussed, but
the participation agreement is very, very similar to what we did with Prairie State. I wasn't the attorney that did the original Prairie State agreement, but I did review this agreement for the board. And I can tell you, it's not an exact duplicate, but the language is very close. I mean, it's a pretty standard thing. Again, I know I'm not making you feel any better, but what I'm saying is it has been contemplated. To the extent you can put protections in, I believe those protections exist in this agreement. I'm just not sure, other than just not doing it, there's anything you can do to protect the city. I think all reasonable steps have been taken.
Nothing is ever 100%.
well, but from everything that I've like kind of looked into and researched, wasn't Prairie State kind of a nightmare, and a lot of things were said that weren't followed through on? And I just, again, want to make sure that the citizens, ratepayers are protected and the city is protected.
Prairie State, and without going in super in depth with Prairie State, I mean, look, Prairie State had problems getting up and running at the speeds that they had said they were going to. They didn't get things online the way they said they were going to. They took things offline. They seem to have kind of gotten things together. If it wasn't for our neighbors to the east, it would probably be a much better deal, but they're so focused on shutting down coal plants with state regs that's affecting us. But anybody that tries to tell you that Prairie State is a bad deal is looking at what we thought in the early 2000s when
What was
when all of
promised.
a sudden all of the electric rates plummeted. Then all of a sudden it looked like maybe it was a dumb idea to buy into Prairie State. However, in the long term, Prairie State has turned out to be just as smart as the board thought it was. So you're right. There were problems with Prairie State. There might be problems with this, but of course, the difference here is Prairie State was in a completely different state. It was an entity that we didn't really have all the ties and connections with. We're members of MPAA, and this is an
Actually, we have
entity-
a board member, I believe. Aren't you on the board?
Yeah, and so this is an entity that we've got a long history with, and we've got a lot of familiarity, and they've always done right by the city of Hannibal. So probably we've got a better connection with them than we ever did with people of Prairie State. That's just me as attorney looking for it. I mean, obviously, Darren could speak to it better than I can, but I'm just saying what I've observed in the last 20 or so years. So
Very,
Is this item 1 of 8?
I can go very fast through the other seven.
Does anybody else have any opposition to being on? Got a question, take from the audience.
This will not go online. This will not be built in 2028.
So there won't be a rate increase.
Not
Till
because
then.
of this. 4 years.
That's a good question, though. He might have missed that.
You've got those other things that still have upward pressure. There's things that are far beyond our control out there. This power gen-
In addition to the fact that we've got 4 years of buying capacity yet until this would come online.
No, I'm not promising you that at all. I'm
Can't.
sorry.
I just want to make sure that you're looking forward to even beyond this because Prairie State will eventually stop.
So we are. One of the other, we've had Rain Belt. That if Rain Belt had come online, we would have been buying electrons, $22 a megawatt. That is, couldn't ask for better. Could have had that jumping in and talking about that line in 29 about this time. If that were to happen, couldn't be sitting pretty. But people that are saying we can't, want to be all renewable, can't build a transmission line. How do you work together? So there's pressures out there that we have. We're still taking that cost when we buy that wholesale power. We're still taking it to market. Everything is still pushing.
Okay, so you're saying there's things that are not in your control, but there's also things that are in your control.
Yes.
So fancy me this. Do you not want what is best for the ratepayers? You want to make sure they're protected and do what is best for them, correct?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, knowing that they are going to have to pay for this long term and they could potentially be having a rate increase at any point in time, multiple times in the next 30, however many years that we're paying this off, since what is the best interest of the ratepayers, can you guarantee me that over that span that there's not going to be significant raises to certain salaries?
Absolutely not.
You can't make promises like that. That's an unfair spot to put them in.
Absolutely
You
not.
can't see what the
So once
market,
we're
what the
locked into
economy's going to
this,
do.
we
There's too
don't,
many-
do we reserve the right to be able to shop somewhere else if we have to? I mean,
So this is
what if it turns out to be, I know nobody's calculating for it, but like, what if it does turn out to be some kind of disaster for the ratepayers? Will we reserve that right, or will we be locked in a contract?
I'm sorry, I've been telling people, I'm 50% right, 50% no matter what.
Yes.
We've had good things. I tell you what, let's go back to Prairie State. Today, it is fantastic. It has saved our bacon the last 4 years. And I see it continuing, nothing but especially as the costs go up. We have a fantastic price for capacity. We have a fantastic price today for those electrons. And it's going to be fantastic all the way up to 2038. So the state of Illinois says you have to cut that. And it's going to be okay up to 2042 when they say it's got to be turned offline. Which is the dumbest thing ever. It's sort of like having a vehicle, buy it, you finally pay it off, and you just go throw it away. Guess what? It's really nice to have a vehicle paid off and still drive it. And we could have driven that and drive it and drive it. I believe there's political things that can help us make that good. I will tell you that we're making nothing but the absolute best decisions we can for the citizens of Hannibal. The President, make sure that that happens. Our board, make sure that happens. And to say that we're not doing everything we can to protect our citizens, for the citizens, the reason this project is in front of you, because the best thing for Hannibal today.
Took the words right out of my mouth. As of right now, today, this is the best thing for the ratepayers of Hannibal. Period.
And for the long term,
Yes.
absolutely. All right, so I've got 7 minutes to get the other 4. Here we go. Indian Mounds. Number 1, Indian Mounds is a substation. We're replacing it. It's about 60 years old. It is the heart of our commercial districts, of our business district. It's right behind Lowe's. Looking at Lowe's, left, back, look down. It is a fantastic project. It is slow because we found breakers, chip. If that were to fail, it would be a catastrophic fail, not a depreciating. Want that. So, at the end of September, that to be completed. Mission project started. Next one, manhole rehab. We've been following Andy and his crew that have been doing a great job of paving both alleyways and streets. What we do is we go to those manholes, he paves right over the top of them. We love it. And then we come back and we cut a hole with a machine that cuts a perfectly round hole. We then set those manholes perfectly level with the road, pour a concrete ring, and we've got it up. Great job. Thank you. We're glad to be that one. Bear Creek Dam. It was told by MDNR. This happened again about 50 years ago. The spillway has silted in. So there's probably 3, 4, some places 5 feet of dirt on top of that. That spillway is the relief valve for Bear Creek Dam. As it fills up, gets towards the top, it has a release. That's a grants for about $700,000. With that, it's good. Talked about the purchase power this last month. Above budget, about $400,000. Happens that fast. It's sort of like a Uri summertime. With that, so those costs we're going to talk about. Regulations, some of the things that we're looking at in the future. We have the lead and copper rule. Lead and copper rule says we cannot have any lead from our mains into a home. We own the mains. We do not own the service line. In order to replace that, the new rule says we have to go not just from that main all the way to the property line, but into the home and replace all the lead that's in there. We estimate that there's about 4,800 of our homes that have that. In order to fix this, and it's starting in 2037, it's about $12,000 a piece. So we would have to come up with between $50 and $70 million to do that. 37, 47, 77. That's what the rule says. There's a lot of legal things going on in the federal government, lawsuits. There's a real stepping on private property rights. Waiting to see how that goes. As it goes forward, I'm going to be talking with James. There might be a way we can some things out. Nutrient trade, the other thing we're watching at the wastewater treatment plant, we operate that with a NIPTES permit. They have amounts of nitrogen, amounts of phosphorus that we have to stay under. We do very well. And so what the government is doing is they're going to drive those down. They're going to make it more difficult. We're very likely going to have to do some sort of pre-treatment or phosphorus treatment to remove that. That will be a engineered design. I would estimate that it's several million dollars to do that. So we're looking at making sure we've got that money in our sewer. That we're starting the testing for that now, making sure that we're following that so that we know the rules. That's not happening until about 2030. So we've got years, but that's what we're working on. PFAS is another thing. You may have heard about that in the news. They're taking that and running it down to parts per trillion. You take the test for that, you have to take and not have any cologne, you have to have a suit on that you cannot breathe on it because that is remarkable. The positive is that our GAC will remove costs. The problem is it takes 4 trillionths is small. Finally, fluoride. We have been working at getting it shut off. We still have about 1,200 fluoride. The problem is, as a concentrated source, they hazardous. So to get rid of it, we've had at least one contractor say $1,000. Remove that. Continuing to inject, seeking more contractors to see if we can get them to help us remove that, less cost than that. I feel that that's pretty cost. Try and run that out and shut it off.
How long do you
That makes
anticipate
sense.
it would take to run that out?
Be probably another 6 months. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Now you. I don't really have much things. I've talked about this. I don't know however that happens, I like to figure it out. Make it happen. And the other one we haven't talked about in a long time is the stormwater. Have you chartered portion of stormwater? There has never been a way. Darren spearheaded a 6-month process to have citizens commit is to fund it through a tax increase or some sort of tax, and that didn't happen, but we're still mandated to do it. So we've got to figure out some way to fund it. I don't have a proposal. I just want to make sure and keep that forefront.
My suggestion, and this is my opinion, the council can chime in where they would like, is maybe we can set something up, some kind of tactical workshop, if you want to call it, between your board and the council. It could be on a standalone night. It could be after your meetings, after one of our meetings, where 2 entities can get together and sit around the table and brainstorm on those items and any other items that the council may want to discuss, but that we could just dedicate an amount of time to focus on that instead of during your business meeting or our business meeting. Or thoughts from you or the council on trying to set something like that up? Or
I like that idea.
So I just
Aaron, are
have
you guys open to that? Or
2 things. What is the need for a 5th person, if I might ask? Because this has been brought to council before a couple times, right?
Break a tie.
I think it has been a couple times and been, so I just didn't know what the need was for a 5th person.
You have different.
Are your guys' decisions that split that you feel like you need a tiebreaker? So there isn't a need for a 5th one?
It's good practice.
You could practice on any board. To have
Okay.
An odd number instead of even number.
And
you have an even? Yeah, you have an even.
it's
number.
even here, 6. Yes.
Well, mayor's 7.
And then-
Board too, though. Mayor's tiebreaker on the board
Good
also.
point. Good point.
Oh, the mayor is a tiebreaker for the board?
Correct.
So there wouldn't need to be a 5th person.
arguably.
Unless if the mayor's not there.
But then wouldn't Councilman Munger fill in?
Pro temp can, because I think the charter outlines that the mayor pro temp fills in for the
Yes.
mayor and his
Yeah.
duties.
I don't know. I didn't anticipate we were going to be discussing this, and I haven't looked it up.
That's a question, we can look that up. I mean,
At that same meeting.
Reasoning for a fifth person is for a tiebreaker, then if that's what, then there wouldn't need to be a
and
need
if,
for a
to
fifth.
your point, I mean, that's an easy fix. Send the mayor's office all the information that the board gets. I mean, I was on the board for 6 months. I haven't missed a board meeting in probably a year. Other than your closed session items, I feel like I'm pretty versed in where we're at right now. Had a lot of conversations and things like that. That doesn't mean that somebody that sits in this chair after me would be, but those are that's a conversation that I would really like to dive into with your whole board and the whole council when we can sit down and discuss it. And James has time to it, but again, not at a business meeting. That's okay.
And then I just have one other thing, Mayor, because they are coming before us in regards to the last month's business, correct? In regards to that and what we had discussed at closed session, addressing things, I must have misunderstood when the last board meeting was, and I had planned to come, but I was under the impression it was the first Monday of the month. That was my mistake. But I cannot express enough my disappointment in being told specifically by you, John, that over 4th of July, the storm drain area down there would be cleaned up, and had people reaching out to me of children picking up boards, swinging them, and safety issues. And you and I specifically spoke that week saying, you talked to Darren, it was going to be taken care of. It wasn't taken care of. It was a huge safety thing. And I had multiple people reach out to me because it wasn't cleaned up. Not only was it an eyesore, but it was a liability to the city. And I just really just do not appreciate when I'm being told one thing and I'm still continuously having citizens complain to me and send me videos of children picking up boards with nails, swinging them. So if I'm being told this will be taken care of, like, to me, I would like to make sure that you see that's done if that's what you're telling me is going to be taken care of. There should have been some type of oversight on your guys' end to make sure that was taken care of. Because heaven forbid somebody would have gotten hurt. Otherwise, I personally would have gone down and make sure it was. I find out from videos and pictures being sent to me. So in the future, please, like, whoever ward it is, if one of us is reaching out to you and you're saying, yes, it'll be taken care of, please just make sure it is. Because I'm just so glad nothing transpired over it other than it just being an overall eyesore. But that company, that construction crew should have never left it like that. And in my mind, the Board of Public Works should have oversaw that it wasn't left like that right before such a huge event or festival for our town. And that's all I have.
We'll get with you guys on a date. That works. Even Melissa to reach out to Darren or John, or we'll get something. Okay. Council, anything else?
Make sure y'all bring the pizza.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next item up on the agenda, this is the fun part for Melissa, is bill number 25-055. Need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second
moved.
and final reading.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 25-055, an ordinance revising Chapter 15, License, Taxation, and Miscellaneous Business Regulations, Article 9, Miscellaneous Business Regulations, such amendments to be regarding food trucks. Second and final reading. Councilman Haycraft.
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea.
Yes.
Councilman Cohen.
Yes.
Councilman Leaders. Councilman Fleetwood.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
Declare Bill number 25-055 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next item, bill number 25-056. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second. Final
moved.
Motion, second, and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 25-056, an ordinance regarding rule of order and procedure pursuant to Section 2.12 of the Home Rule Charter of the City of Hannibal, second and final reading. Councilman Haycraft,
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
Councilman Leaders, Councilman Fleetwood,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Now declare Bill number 25-056 duly approved and adopted on this date. Next item is Bill number 25-057. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill 25-057, an ordinance revising Chapter 7, Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 5, Dangerous Buildings and Structures, Section 7-344, Building Commission created, composition and responsibility, second and final reading. Councilman Haycraft,
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
Councilman Leaders, Councilman Fleetwood,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
Now declare Bill number 25-057 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next, I have Bill number 25-058. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill 25-058, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 payroll ordinance number 1 relative to the addition of certain police officer salaries and correction to certain fire department salaries. Second and final reading. Councilman Haycraft,
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
Councilman Leaders, Councilman Fleetwood,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
Now declare Bill number 25-058 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next, we have Bill number 25-059. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? None, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Ordinance 25059, an ordinance authorizing the City of Hannibal, Missouri to enter into a union power purchase agreement with Missouri Joint Municipal Electric Utility Commission, DBA Missouri Electric Commission. Second and final reading. Councilman Haycraft,
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea,
No.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
Councilman Leaders, Councilman Fleetwood,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
Now declare Bill number 25-059 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next item is Bill number 25-060. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Bill number 25-060, an ordinance ratifying and reaffirming the City of Hannibal's procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials and employees as required biannually by Missouri State Statute 105.483, 105.485. First reading.
Next item, we have Bill number 25-061. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 25-061, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal fixing and adopting the rate of taxation for the year of 2025 and levying taxes therefore. First reading.
Next item, we have Bill number 25-062. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 25-062, an ordinance revising Chapter 19 nuisances, Article 3, weeds, Section 19-71, prohibited, and Article 4, garbage, rubbish, and trash, Section 19-105, abatement. First reading.
Next item, we have, next one's not any better. Next item is Bill number 25-063. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Bill number 25-063, an ordinance providing a submission of a proposal, Proposition 1, to allow the City of Hannibal to impose an additional sales tax of 0.5% for the sole purpose of improving the public safety of the city to the qualified voters of the city for their approval at the municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. First reading.
Next item, we have Bill number 25-064. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 25-064, an ordinance providing for submission of a proposal, Proposition M, to amend the charter to provide that appointments to certain boards of the city be approved by the mayor instead of the city manager to the voters of the city for their approval at the municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, first reading.
Next item, we have bill number 25-065. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 25-065, an ordinance accepting the dedication of streets in Timberview Terrace subdivision and authorizing the mayor to sign the dedication of streets to public use. First reading.
Next item, we have resolution number 2561-25. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2561-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract on behalf of the City of Hannibal's Tourism Department with the Firefly Drone Show for a performance on June 6, 2026. Councilman Haycraft,
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
Councilman Leaders, Councilman Fleetwood,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
Now declare resolution number 2561-25 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next item is resolution number 2562-25. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2562-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a service agreement between the City of Hannibal and the University of Central Missouri, Missouri Safety Center. Councilman Haycraft,
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea,
Yes.
Councilman Cohen,
Yes.
Councilman Leaders, Councilman Fleetwood,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Now declare resolution 2562-25 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next, we have resolution 2563-25. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
My pleasure. Resolution number 2563-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a $46,987 contract between the City of Hannibal and the Tech Electronic Incorporated for upgrades and replacement to the audio and video equipment in the city chambers at City Council chambers at City Hall. Councilman Haycraft.
Let me see if my mic works. Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea.
Absolutely yes.
Councilman Cohen.
Yes.
Councilman Leaders. Councilman Fleetwood.
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
I now declare resolution 2563-25, which has been a long time coming, duly approved and adopted on this day. Thank you to the IT department, the clerk's office, city manager's office on making this happen. Like I said, it's been a long time coming, so appreciate that. The last item is closed session. I need a motion to go into closed session in accordance with RSMO 610-021, subparagraph 1, admitting myself, council, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, and Mike McCard with the building inspector's office.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Councilman Haycraft.
Yes.
Councilwoman Azatea.
Yes.
Councilman Cohen.
Yes.
Councilman Leaders.
Yeah.
Councilman Fleetwood.
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
All right. We are in closed session. Thank you, everyone.